Today, we have with us Aman Jain, who is graduated from an IIT Kanpur and is one of the founding member of the GyanDhan, and they have assisted more than 1 lakh students in getting an education loan for studying abroad. Right now, we will discuss with him all the insights of educational loans and what are the properties that you have to be secured and what is an unsecured loan. Everything we will going to crash it today. Thank you. Good morning, Aman.
Hello, hi.
Aman, let's begin with a very normal way.
Okay.
So, what are the eligibility criteria for a student who wants to study abroad?
Okay, see, so the eligibility criteria depends on what kind of loan you are taking. Broadly speaking, there are two kinds of loan. One is the secured education loan, where a student or their parents are supposed to put some sort of collateral. It can be real estate property, FD, or anything, right? Other kind is without collateral loan, which is called unsecured loan. Now, the eligibility criteria are different for both of them. So first, let's talk about the secured loan, where the eligibility criteria is primarily only one thing, is the value of the collateral. So let's say if you're looking for a 20 lakh rupee loan, so the value of collateral should be at least 20 lakh rupees.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're looking for 30 lakh rupee loan, then the value of collateral should be 30 lakh rupee. And all the papers of the collateral, let's say typically I have seen that usually students and their parents put real estate as a collateral because the amount is high for the abroad education loan, right? So the value of the collateral or the value of the property should be equivalent to the loan amount that you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. And on the top of that, the second thing is that all the papers of the property should be in place. So at times I've noticed that people apply for the secured education loan and they midway through the process, they get to know that, okay, hey, my this document is missing, my that document is missing, my approved map is missing. And that's where the process fall apart. And then they need to go to government offices to get the document made and all of that. So these are the two basic
things.
Criteria for the secured loan.
Two kinds of a loan. One is a secured loan. Another one is unsecured loan. Okay. Let's discuss about the first one, secured loan. Okay. For the secured loan purpose, what the banks are really looking for it.
Right.
So is it a property, or is it more fixed assets, or agriculture land, or else open land?
Right.
So which one is really banks are accepting now?
So given the quantum of the loan amount that we talk about in general in the study abroad space, the banks are mostly looking for the real estate, the properties, flats, house, that is a collateral. So if you have that, that's the first preference. Second is the FD, because FD, fixed deposit in any particular bank, that can also act as a collateral. So these are the two preferred collateral that the banks have. Apart from that, at times banks can accept open plot as a collateral. There is a condition that in the open plot there should be boundary to the plot. If there are no boundaries, then bank think that okay, in the future there can be a confusion who owns the property, what is the area of the property that the person owns. So if you are planning to give open plot as a collateral, in that case there should be a boundary to the collateral. That's that. Now, agricultural land, it's a very interesting thing, right? In general, practically speaking, agricultural lands are not acceptable for majority of the banks. But what has happened in the last couple of years is that few banks here and there, they're coming up with the product where they are now trying to do the loans on the agricultural land as well. So theoretically speaking, as of today, loans are possible on the agricultural land, depending on certain criteria, conditions, location of the agricultural land. So, for example, certain states, agricultural lands are not acceptable. Certain states, agricultural lands are acceptable. Right. So, to answer your question, the preferred is either a house, a fully built structure, be it house, flat, or anything, or an FD. These are the two preferred ones. So that is what the bank are looking for in the secured education loan.
So when it comes to an agricultural land part, do they mortgage to the bank before they disburse to the educational loan?
No. So, so there is a process. So at the time of sanctioning the loan, they look for the photocopies of the entire documents that are there, and basis that they sanction. Now, once the loan is sanctioned, post that, before the disbursement, there is a process that the property owner and bank needs to do. That is called mortgage registration. So usually you have to go to the local government body in your area and get that mortgage registration is done. Once that is done, then the disbursement will be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any minimum amount or maximum amount that can be borrowed, especially in terms of an educational loan?
So specifically talking about secured education loan, where you are giving a collateral, there is no maxima, right?
Okay.
So whatever be the amount that you're looking for, let's say if you're looking for 2 crore rupee for your undergrad, right?
Okay.
So you will be able to get 2 crore rupee as the education loan, given the value of the collateral is 2 crore rupees.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Great.
ultimately, it is like you are taking money from the bank by giving your collateral.
Yes.
So whatever be the value of the collateral, bank will be willing to give you the money equivalent to that.
How much percentage you choose to be generally? If the value of the property would be 1 crore,
Yeah.
how much a student will eligible to get the educational loan?
See, so earlier when we started GyanDhan 6-7 years back, it used to be 70%. Most of the banks used to give up to 70% of the collateral value as the loan. But now, because so much competition has come, so many banks have come in the market, NBFCs have come in the market. Now you can get up to 100% of the value of the collateral as the loan.
Okay, even 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Great. So, is there any specific courses or a specific countries are there? Then only will give an educational loan. Likewise, do you have any terms and conditions with an educational loans part?
Right. Let me go to the other stream of the loan that I was talking about. So we have talked about secured education loan.
Education loan. Yeah,
Now let's talk about unsecured education loan.
Right? Okay, perfect.
So in unsecured education loan, you don't have to give any tangible collateral. So we don't need your property, FD or nothing, right?
Okay.
There, talking specifically about Indian lenders, Indian banks, Indian NBFCs, what they look for is a co-applicant. So basically, there should be someone in your family who earns certain amount.
Okay.
And he or she should have the proof of it in the form of ITR, Form 16.
Yes.
Right? So that is there, then you are eligible for unsecured loan. Now, there is no single variable on which an unsecured loan depends. There are so many variables. So for example, if a student is looking for unsecured loan, these are the following things that the banks will check. The first thing is, as I mentioned, the co-applicant, that who in the family earns and how much.
Okay.
Usually, banks are looking for someone in the family who earns 35,000 rupees per month.
Correct.
As per the papers. There should be a proof of it, right? Either in the form of ITR, pay slips, Form 16, as I mentioned. That is the first thing. Second thing the bank look for is that which college and which country. And for what course the student is going abroad.
Okay, 3 parameters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are certain countries which are typically not at all eligible for an unsecured loan. So just to give an example, somebody going to Russia, no Indian lender will be giving unsecured loan more than 7.5 lakh rupees.
Okay.
Typically up to 7.5 lakh rupees you can take from any bank for any education. But above 7.5 lakh rupees, no bank will give for Russia, right?
Any type of course, whether it's for be a master's or PhD level or undergrad, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So they check the country. So typically it's easier to get an unsecured loan for countries like USA, Canada, UK, Australia, Germany, Ireland, New Zealand, and this new age countries which are coming, like for example, Sweden, Netherlands, Italy.
Okay.
So all of these are eligible. At least one of our partner will be able to do the loans for the countries that I mentioned. Now, the courses. Typically, master courses or master level or equivalent courses are eligible. Right. So somebody is going for MBA, MIM, MS, or any other equivalent degree, masters in international business. Such kind of degrees are eligible for an unsecured loan. Undergrad, because of the sheer amount of the loan amount that you require for undergrad, because it's a 4-year course, you require 1 crore, 70 lakh, 80 lakh rupees. So unsecured loan for undergrad is not possible.
Okay.
Up to a certain amount you can get. Let's say somebody is just looking for 10, 20 lakh rupees. That's a separate thing, but you cannot fund your entire undergrad with an unsecured loan.
Okay.
Because of the sheer amount of fees that is there, or the tuition fee and the living expenses that is involved in an unsecured course.
Okay.
Right.
I heard that, Aman. Unsecured loan is not possible for an undergrad students.
Yeah, it's,
Is that true?
it's 99% true.
Okay.
So what has happened again? As we are speaking, things are changing.
Okay.
Right. Banks are coming up with new policies, new product every now and then. Right.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't want to say 100% it's not possible. So just to give you some context, we work with one partner, ICICI Bank. So
Okay.
they have come up with a product where they are able to give unsecured loan even for undergrad for a limited number of colleges. So
Okay.
that's why I said that 99% it can't be done, but there is that 1% chance of certain college, certain course from certain bank, it can be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to a college or university portion, does the banks are specifically looking for any top 200 universities or only top 500 colleges must be there, to sanction the education loan?
Yeah.
Does parameters or any changing with the recent dynamics?
Right, definitely. See, unsecured loan, ultimately we need to understand the very basics of an unsecured loan, right? Banks are giving unsecured loan with an intent that the student is going to a good college, a good university, and the student will be able to get a good employment after graduation, and student will earn and will repay that money. So that is the intent, right? So as the basic nature of an unsecured loan is for the bank to give money for the colleges where the employment opportunities are more, that aligns with the ranking in general, right? So usually I have seen most of the banks that we work with, be it Axis Bank, IDFC First Bank, UBI, SBI, every bank has a list. Now it is possible that one college is not in the list of bank A, but it is in the list of bank B.
Okay.
So with GyanDhan, if I combine, because with GyanDhan you can get loan for any of our partner. We work with 15 plus partners. So at GyanDhan, when you apply, we check your eligibility basis all the banks. So now it might be possible that bank A has 100 colleges, bank B has 100, bank C has 100 colleges in the list. Combined they have 500. There will be many common, but combined they have 500 colleges which are eligible for an unsecured loan. So now this 500 colleges usually will be the top 500, top 600 colleges. You can pick up any US News ranking, QS ranking, some sort of ranking every bank is following and giving loans according to that. So yes, to answer your question, there is a good correlation between the ranking of the college and the availability of an unsecured loan.
Okay. But Aman, when it comes to United States, so every bank is ready to give the loan when compared to other countries.
Right.
So what is your opinion on this?
Right.
I mean, how the banks are looking at the USA with other destinations?
Right. See, US is one country where the loans are possible very easily.
Okay.
Right. Loans are done for USA in few hours.
Why? What is the reason?
So, see, again, unsecured loan basic premises is that a student will get an employment after graduation. Now, bank over the years, because a lot many students go to US, bank have collected data. Over the years, bank have come to the conclusion that the students who are going to US has higher chances of getting a job and higher chances of getting a success as compared to somebody who is going to Germany. I'm not saying Germany is not it's not a good option.
Other destination.
If I have to compare US versus Germany, bank will always say that okay, somebody is going to US will have a higher chances of getting a job, and that's why for US the loans are done easier. But it's not like that. Even if you are going to US, every college is eligible for unsecured loan. There also the college needs to be in this top 500, top 600 list that I mentioned. If the college is not in there, then unsecured loan will not be possible easily. Then you should have something good in your profile. So what banks usually look for is that, let's say somebody is going to US, the college is not good, but then is there anything else which is good in the profile? Is it the GRE score of the student? Is it the past CATs? Is it the CIBIL score of the parent or the student himself or herself? So usually bank try to find out that one point on which they can sanction it. right? The
Okay.
first point is definitely the college and the
Okay,
course,
academics.
right?
Huh.
Acats. But let's say you are going to US, but the college is not the top ranked one. Then the bank will look at, okay, hey, is there any other proxy that I can use?
Okay.
It can be, as I mentioned, the GRE scores or good co-applicant salary, good co-applicant CIBIL score. So these are the things which can mitigate,
Okay.
right? So if you're going to a low-ranked university and you're looking for an unsecured loan, then bank will also look at the other parameters. If you're going to a
Okay.
high-ranked university, then
Look for some.
yeah,
Okay.
so bank then will ignore other parameters,
Okay.
right? So I will tell you, at times many students come to GyanDhan and they're looking for unsecured loan, but unfortunately they don't have the ITRs,
Okay.
right? At the so, but they have a very good GRE score. So 320, 325, 330.
Okay.
So we then push their case in a certain way that we get the loan sanctioned on the basis of the GRE score.
Okay.
Right, so this is how we are pushing the students in front of the lenders with the right pitch that okay, hey, we know that ITR is not there, but please look at the GRE score, right? We know the ITR is not there, but please look at the work experience.
Okay.
So these are the things which can, if you're going to a high ranked university and if you don't have the other things in your profile, which is fine.
Okay.
But it cannot be you are going to a low ranked university, but then there should be one of the other things which we can, combine and
Combined.
push.
So what I understood, these are all the three important. One
Yeah.
is the student academics, which includes his previous bachelor's
Yeah.
or undergrad or GRE or an
Yeah.
IEL score.
Yeah.
And second thing is their financial ability.
Yeah.
I mean, with the CIBIL score or parents' income
Income.
earnings
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So by these taking two parameters, then you will take the right pitch to the lenders.
Yeah. So for US
Okay,
specifically,
for
I'm
US
talking about.
purpose.
For other countries like Canada, UK, Australia, they're also, if you're going to very top 2, top 3, top 5 universities of the country, that's a separate thing. But other than that, usually banks are looking for ITR. So banks
Okay.
are less lenient when it comes to the other countries compared to US. Banks are very lenient when it comes to US. Whereas in the other countries, banks are less lenient. So they will go properly by the book that, okay, hey, I need 2-year ITR, so I need 2-year ITR.
Okay.
Right? You need to go to one of these colleges that they have in the list. If you're not going, then they won't look at it. Then they will say, give me a collateral. Or at times, they find a middle way. Then let's say somebody is looking for 20 lakh rupee loan. So we try to, crack a deal with the bank. So such that, okay, hey, this student can make an FD of 5 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees.
Okay.
So we call it partially secured because it's not fully secured.
Yes.
It's not fully unsecured.
Okay.
It's partially secured.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to a loan application wise, once the loan application has been made, how much time usually you or lenders that will take time to reward with the students? Because always the admissions or with the, that it's a deadline based.
Yeah.
Generally, how much time that you will take?
Right.
How this process has been simplified when it compared to the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I'll love to answer this question. This is the exact problem, or this is one of the problems that we are
Yes.
solving with GyanDhan, right? So when GyanDhan was started, I remember the first loan we did. So our initial loan partners were Axis Bank and SBI. So we started working with them, and there's this customer. I still remember the name. The name of the customer was Amok.
Okay.
So he was going to a very good university, and he was applying. And back then there was no unsecured loan from the banks. It used to be that you need to have a property to get a loan, right?
Okay.
So we applied to the SBI, and we waited for it at least a couple of months to get even the sanction letter. So that was the timeline that used to be there. When you used to think about education loan, people used to think 1 month, 2 months is a normal timeline.
Yes.
Right? And obviously, it didn't make sense to us that why it is taking 2 months to get a loan. There is something seriously wrong with the system, with the processes, and that is the exact problem we started solving. To that day to today, we can get an unsecured loan done within a couple of days if you have all the documents, and a secured education loan we can get done in 10 to 12 working days.
Okay.
So we have taken the process of 2 months, did the operational changes wherever needed, and have reduced the timeline to 2 days for an unsecured loan, and 10 to 12 working days for the secured loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, Aman, it's really a lengthy process.
Yeah.
Even, if I want to get a secured loan, I need to submit my property documents and legal opinion and market value certifications.
Right.
I need to go for a head branch, and then they need to, the one credit manager has to certify that loan, and the loan amount will be sanctioned.
Right.
This would be the very lengthiest process.
Yeah.
How you guys have simplified it into 10 to 12 days?
Right. I'll explain that.
Huh.
So what you're talking about is a secured loan. Right?
Secured loan, yeah.
So typically, first of all, whenever there is a secured loan requirement from the student, we try to get it done from a public sector bank. The reason is they give you one of the lowest rate of interest, or specifically banks, if not public banks. Now, as you mentioned, that it's a lengthy process, right? So why it is lengthy process? Because there are so many stakeholders involved. One is student, one is credit manager, one is sales manager from the bank, one is the lawyer, one is the evaluator. And
Correct.
there is no central system where all the information is available. So a student, if they want to know that, okay, what are all the documents required, there is no such place where you get the list of entire 50, 70 documents that will be needed in the process. And that is how exactly we solved it.
Yeah.
So over the period of time, because we have now helped lakhs of students, as you mentioned, in getting loans, now we know in which part of India, which bank need what kind of documents. Right, and each city, each area has different kind of properties. Right, for example, let's talk about Bangalore. There are A Khata property, B Khata property. If I talk about Delhi, Lal Dora properties, there are DDA flats. So every kind of property require a different set of documents.
Okay.
So what we did at GyanDhan was that we have this centralized system where our counselor either asks such questions from the student, or student has to fill a small form, and we give them a list of documents.
Okay.
So that reduces the timeline itself, because I am giving upfront the list of documents to the student, that these are the 99% of the documents that you will be needing in the process.
Okay.
Right? Post that, specifically for the public banks, we go to the student home.
Okay.
In all the major cities in India, and check the documents. Check everything is in place. So student don't have to go anywhere. We go, we check the entire file at the home of the student.
Okay.
All the documents. And if the entire file is ready, then only we take it from there.
Okay. On behalf of the bank, you do the evaluation and the property checking, everything.
Yeah, everything. And we are happy to share that we are one of the 2 appointed agency by one of the bank, State Bank of India, to do so. So not everybody can do it. We have got the special status from the bank to do so. So now we go and do all the checking, everything at one end. Then we go and then we coordinate with the lawyer, we coordinate with the evaluator, we coordinate with the branch manager, we coordinate with the credit manager parallelly.
Okay.
Right? So things that were happening one by one, let's say earlier what used to happen was file, student goes, submit the documents to the branch manager or sales manager. From there, it used to be there for 5-7 days, and then the property evaluator will come, take it. So there was a lot of coordination and there was no tracking. And that is what we have solved at GyanDhan. Now, if a file goes to any bank, there is a GyanDhan sticker on it, that this is a GyanDhan file. So it will be taken on priority at the end of the day. So that's how we have solved it. That's how we are able to reduce the 2-month process to a 10-12 working day process in a secured loan.
So almost 30 days process comes to a 10 to 12 days process, so that the student can
enroll. And that is in secured loan. Unsecured loan, it's completely online. So unsecured loan, you don't even have to go anywhere. You just have to upload the document on a website, and that is it. Once you upload the document, automatically it goes to the bank. Automatically, we have a team at the back end that checks all the documents. Similarly, in the earlier process I mentioned where we were checking physically, there we are checking digitally. Right? So we check the documents, then it goes to the banks. lenders, and within 2 days the loan gets sanctioned.
Okay.
In unsecured loan.
What's so really banking it really looking at unsecured loan? I mean, they are not in mortgaging any property.
Yeah.
So what parameter they are taking into the consideration? While is there any minimum amount that can be borrowed or maximum amount can be borrowed?
Yeah.
What is their parents' repayment capacity? Who is their co-signer?
Yeah.
Like how they are evaluating them?
Right. So, as I earlier mentioned, college course, country. So, those were the first parameter to be eligible.
Okay.
Second was the co-applicant, who in the family is earning and how much, and if the proof of the income is available or not.
Okay.
Right. So one is the college course where you are going to. Other is who is the co-applicant in the family. Usually, bank wants your immediate family member should be the co-applicant, be it your father, mother, siblings. At times, if there is no one in the immediate family who earns, or let me put it in this way, there is no one in the immediate family who has the ITR or income proof, then we look at the distant relative. Then we can look at paternal uncle, maternal uncle, aunt, cousin, brother, cousin sister.
Anyone can.
That is secondary. That is only when in your immediate family member there is no one. But then those cases will be with a little bit of doubt. Bank will scrutinize more, but that is possible. So this is the second thing. Third is the CIBIL.
Okay.
The credit score of the student and the co-applicant. So bank try to see that if the co-applicant or applicant has ever taken a loan. If yes, then have they repaid it on time? What is the credit score? So these are the three parameters on the broader level that the bank look at.
What happens, if the co-applicant or co-signer financial situation changes after the loan sanction letter or a disbursement? Is there any particular action?
See, so once the loan is sanctioned, if you are applying for the disbursement immediately within 10, 12, 15, 20 days, then usually banks are not checking anything in between.
Okay.
Right? So practically speaking, if the loan is sanctioned, you can get it disbursed in 1 month, 2 months. If you are getting it disbursed way longer, after 5-6 months, then bank will again check some documents, right? So that you need to be careful about. Now, once the loan is disbursed, so first of all, banks are not giving you the entire money altogether in one go. It is as per the need, right? So if you're getting a 40 lakh rupee loan sanction and 5 lakh rupee you need in the first semester for your tuition fee, 2-3 lakh rupee you need for the living expenses. So total first semester you need 8 lakh rupees. So bank will disburse only 8 lakh rupees. Right? So bank will transfer 5 lakh rupees directly to the university via whatever method recommended, fly wire or anything. And 3 lakh rupee bank can give you in your account, or bank will give you a prepaid card that you can use. Right? Now, as you asked that if the financial changes for the
financial condition
changes. So see, financial condition, banks are not going to again check the income or anything in the further disbursements as long as you are serving the interest on time. So that there are many banks who ask you to serve partial interest or simple interest during the study period. So as long as you are paying that on time, banks are not going to check anything again.
No way concerned.
They will keep disbursing. But if you are not paying the simple interest, partial interest on time, then bank might doubt, and then bank might check things. So as long as everything is normal, bank would check much. You can assume that disbursements can be done. But if there is something that comes up in front of bank through any method, then obviously bank is bank, right? They would want to say, let's say they got to know that your credit score has deteriorated because you have taken 5 more loans and you are not paying on time, and it has come in light of the bank. So then before second or third disbursement, they might hold it. Right? So, but again, as I said, usually there are no checks in place by the typical lenders once the loan is sanctioned until and unless you go and show them in front of you. In front of you.
For disbursement section, Aman, some countries require the loan disbursement before the visa approval. But banks are really in a tricky situation whether the student will grant the visas or not. But it's a mandatory. Take an example of Australia and United Kingdom. Both will both we have to disburse the amount before the visa approval.
Yeah.
In that case, so how the banks are taking this as an initiative?
Yeah. See, so it's a very tricky situation, I would say. And this is one of the pain point for the students that we solve at our end. So at times, see what banks want. First of all, let's understand. Banks want money to be given in the proper channel at the appropriate time.
Okay.
So bank won't that, okay, hey, we've sanctioned the loan, but what if you don't get visa? My money will go in when, right?
Yeah.
So bank usually have all of this condition that once sanctioned, you should have your visa. There should be a fee demand letter from the university, and then we will pay.
Okay.
Now, as you mentioned, there are countries, for example, Canada, you need the money in the GIC account even for the visa.
Correct.
For Germany, you need the money in the block account. For Australia, you need fees to be paid before the visa. In all such cases, we then talk to the banks and get it done in under special circumstances that this is the requirement of the university.
Okay.
So when typically a student approaches the banks directly, they might find it hard to explain it to the banks.
Okay.
That okay, this is to be done. But with GyanDhan, because we have been doing it for last 8 years, have done it for lakhs of students. So we understand that okay, whenever we see an application for Germany, we know that block account thing will come, and we upfront have to talk to the banks to get it done. So that becomes our headache rather than of the banks.
After the loan sanction letter and before the disbursement, what would be the process?
Right. See, so many times, many students, parents, once the loan gets sanctioned, they get chill.
Yes.
That everything is done. But that's actually not true. Though you don't have to put that much effort after sanction, but there is a lot to be done after sanction as well.
True.
So to give an example, or to let you know the exact process, once the loan is sanctioned, after that, there is an agreement that needs to be signed.
Okay.
So there is this loan agreement. Usually, most of the banks get it signed physically. So they will courier you the agreement. You will sign it. Then you will courier it back if you are not in the same city. Once the agreement is signed, then banks look for post-dated checks. So bank will say, give us 12, 16, 28 post-dated check of this amount that needs to be submitted. Then bank ask you to set up auto debit of the EMIs or the interest from your account, which is typically called NACH, NACH. So you need to set up that. Right. Once that is done, if it is a secured loan, I mentioned the mortgage registration to be done. And apart from that, then you have to submit the demand letter from the university. So these all are the things that is needed to be done once the loan is sanctioned. So what I have seen around is that once the loan is sanctioned today, the student think that tomorrow I will get the money. Or not even students, many parents, many admission consultants, they think that okay, hey, today loan is sanctioned, give us the money next day. It doesn't work like that. You have to do certain process to get the loan sanctioned, the loan that was sanctioned to get the money in the account. And these are the steps to be followed.
Okay, especially when it comes to a repayment of the loan. So how the banks are asking the students to repay the loan, whether it's a quarterly or monthly base, or else after the yearly wise, how they are banking or flexible within, especially in abroad education loans.
Right. So there are, as I mentioned, two kinds of loan. One is secured, one is unsecured. So in secured loan is typically from the public sector banks. You don't need to pay anything while you study plus 6 months. So if you are going for a 2-year course, then for 2 year plus 6 months, 30 months, you don't need to pay anything. Your repayment, your EMI starts after you graduate. So for this 30 months, and this is one of the reason I like secured loan better, because secured loan rate is low. Approval chances are higher because you are getting property, and there is nothing to be paid while you study. Though interest will be charged and it will get accumulated with your principal amount. But you need to pay once. Bank assumes that once course ends, you start earning, then you pay. Right? Whereas in the unsecured loan, bank don't want to lose touch with you.
Yes.
Because there is no property involved, there is no collateral involved. So typically banks want you to pay a certain amount per month. Now it can be entire interest or interest per month or a partial interest 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees per month.
Okay.
So during study period plus typically 1 year, you need to pay this simple interest or partial interest and then your EMI starts.
Okay.
So this is typical unsecured loan.
Generally, how much would be the duration amount? Loan repayment.
So you can take up to 15 years to repay the loan. That in the secured education loan, in the unsecured loan, you can take 10 years.
Okay.
Up to repay the loan.
Okay.
But it's what we have seen around is once a student graduate, they repay the loan in 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Right. So that is, I don't see that as a very big pain point for the student that even at the time of inquiry, they never ask even this question that how long I need to repay.
Okay. Does the banks ask for any charges for the paying of advancing the loan, completing the loan?
Yeah, that's a very good thing with the specifically Indian banks. I'm not talking about NBFCs. I'm not talking about other players. Indian banks. What I really love about Indian banks, specifically with this respect, is that they have developed the education loan in such a way to help student.
Okay.
So this moratorium period that I mentioned, right, that in the public sector bank you don't need to pay anything while you study. Banks understand that while you are studying, you are not earning. How will you pay?
Correct.
Right. Similarly, banks also understand that once you start earning, you are getting a good bonus, good salary, then you can repay it anytime. And bank don't charge you any prepayment penalty. It used to be the case earlier. Even today, when you take car loan, home loan, there are prepayment penalties. But there are no prepayment penalties when it comes to education loan, specifically from the Indian banks.
On that particular date, they need to pay with an only outstanding
principal plus interest.
Principal plus. Okay. So they don't take any rest of the 15 years interest.
Nothing.
Nothing else. Okay. So generally, only how the banks or to be loaned. They cover only tuition fees and living expenses, or they're going to cover any other expenses apart from this?
Again, that's why I'm saying that I love the education loan product because everything is covered. Your tuition fee, your living expenses, your travel, your flight tickets, your laptop. If you want to attend any conference, books, everything is covered in education loan, provided you mention it upfront.
Okay.
Right? When you are applying for the education loan, you need to mention that, hey, I am looking for loan, not only for the tuition fee, but also for the living expenses, also for my flight tickets, also for a laptop.
Books.
You give the list.
You give the list. They are ready to give.
They will sanction it, but it cannot happen that once the loan is done and post that you're coming to the bank while applying. You mentioned just tuition fee, and then you're coming to the bank that hey, I need money for my travel tickets. No, it can't be done like that. You need to mention it upfront.
Okay. So is there anything like higher the percentage in graduation, higher the marks in IELTS or GRE? Does it add value more to that application?
Yes, definitely, especially in the unsecured loan.
Okay.
So secured loan, it's same because there is a property. Bank typically don't care about other aspects much as long as they're not horrible. So let's say if you're applying for a secured loan and you have 30 backlogs.
Okay.
So then bank will care about it, right? But in unsecured loan, again, the basic premise is that bank is giving money with an intent that you will get a job, right? So bank know that if the student is sincere, have good marks in 10th, 12th, have good marks in undergrad, have good marks in GRE IELTS, that gives confidence to the bank. So that not only helps in getting approval better, faster, but at the same time, it also helps you getting a lower rate. So I'll give you an example. If your GRE score is 330, versus if your GRE score is 310, if you're applying for an unsecured loan, the 310 guy will get a loan at 12.5%.
Great.
Or 12%, and 330 guy will get it 11%.
Okay.
So even if you have a good GRE score, your rate will be lower.
Okay.
Specifically unsecured loan I'm talking about in general.
When it comes to unsecured loan, how CIBIL score will impact the application?
Same thing. If the CIBIL is very good, right, there is a range, right? So if the CIBIL is very good, again the interest rate will be lower.
Okay.
If the CIBIL is bad, there are two things. It is bad enough that they are not approving the loan.
Okay.
Right? So they won't approve the loan. But it is slightly bad. In that case, what will they say? That okay, hey, I know the risk is higher, let's approve the loan. They will charge a higher rate of interest. So then you will have to pay maybe 13% on an unsecured loan. Yeah.
Okay. If education is good, but CIBIL is good, but repayment capacity is poor.
Yeah.
So in that case, anything.
So repayment capacity, you mean the income of the
parents?
Yeah.
I mean.
Right. So again, you have mentioned 3 factors. So out of 3, 2 is good. You are good to go.
Okay. So anyhow, most of the banks will sanction.
Yeah.
Again, one more pain point, Aman. If the student wants to switch the university from another after completion of first semester, so he depends on his education loan. So what are the things he should remember? Then how the banks are looking at this?
Right. So it's a very generic use case that people go abroad and they change the university. Unfortunately, bank when sanction a loan, they sanction it for one university.
Correct.
So let's say if you are going to Arizona State University today, right? And you are while applying to the bank, you mentioned Arizona State University. So bank, in their mind, they know that this student is going to Arizona State University. He is taking money
this tuition fees is this much, living cost is this much.
Everything they
take the project cost.
Yeah, everything they have evaluated basis that, right?
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow, you shift from Arizona State University to Northeastern University. Now, for bank, it is a bad thing.
Okay.
They won't say that okay, hey, I will now give money to the Northeastern. They will say that you have to return me the money.
Okay.
You have to close the loan, right? And then maybe you can apply for another loan for the Northeastern. That's a separate thing. That is up to the bank whether, depending on why you're switching and everything. But it's not like once the loan is disbursed, the loan can't be transferred. If the loan is not disbursed, the money is not taken from the bank yet.
Okay.
And if you are changing the university, still it can be done. You will have to do certain process again, but then and obviously bank will look at the new university as well, the ranking of it, the course and everything. And if it is the same, bank will say, okay, okay, we approved your loan for Arizona, but now you are willing to go to Northeastern, which is equally good university. Okay, here is the new sanction letter for the Northeastern.
Okay. Again, they will change everything.
Change everything.
And
everything. Depending on the good next university is good.
University. Okay.
But after disbursement, it can't be done.
Okay. So how much the good university that you select?
Yeah. After disbursement, you will have to close the first loan, and then you will have to apply for a new loan for the second one.
Okay, but it's really difficult, right? Whenever the student has already studied first semester in USA, then again, beginning from the second semester, the banks never allow,
But it is, in the loan agreement, they are specifically writing that we are giving you money for Arizona State University, right? And bank goes by the paper. They can't do this, that on the paper they are writing Arizona State University, and then they're transferring money to some other university. They can't do that.
Is it the same with the public banks and NBFCs?
It is same. It is just that in the NBFC it will be a bit easier to reapply and do all of that. Banks it will be a bit tougher, and specifically when you are abroad, it will be toughest with the banks, I would say. NBFCs it will be easier, but again in NBFC as well, you will have to close the first loan and then reapply for the second loan.
Okay, same. Does it have any impact on these future credit scores of the applicant or co-signer?
No, so if you're repaying, it won't impact. You can foreclose the loan. That is not being looked at as a very negative thing at the end of the day.
Okay.
So it won't impact your CIBIL in a very big negative way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no much to be.
CIBIL wise, it won't, or credit wise, it won't impact much.
Okay. Yeah. Aman, tell me 2 things. The students who wants to study abroad with an education loan.
Yeah.
Nagendar, these 2 things they must know. These 2 classes. I mean, these 2 are the dangerous classes which are there in an educational loan. They must know before they approve for an education loan. What are they?
So if I have to say 2 things, don't just blindly go and take loan from anywhere.
Okay.
That will be my first suggestion. What I have seen is people usually say, oh, my friend took the loan from there. I will take it from there.
Okay.
Right. what happens is, see, everyone finances are different.
True.
Right? My finances are different, your finances are different, right? So for a student A, it can make sense to take a loan from bank A, but for a student B, it might not make sense to take a loan from bank A. I always say, when you buy a mobile phone, you go, you check at your local 5 store, what is the price, what is the discount you're getting. You check at Flipkart, you check at Amazon, you look for the sale, you do all that optimization. But when you are looking for a loan, people simply go at one place, apply and get it done with. So the dangerous thing with that is that you might end up taking a loan 1%, 2% higher than what you could have got in the first place. Now think about it. 40 lakh rupee loan. If you are getting a loan at a 2% higher rate, that is the interest of 80,000 rupees per year. If you are taking a loan for 5-7 years, so you are in total paying 4-5 lakh rupees extra to the bank. Right? If you are getting a loan which is higher rate as compared to what you could have got, right? So not comparing loan, not doing the financial planning is the biggest sin, because it can not only jeopardize you but your family as well, right? Your family financial situation might not be that. In future, you have to pay higher EMIs.
I mean, what they need to check exactly, whether they need to check with the EMIs or a moratorium period, or what exactly they need to check.
It's not the one variable thing. You have to compare many aspects of all the options available. So typically speaking, you need to check interest rate, you need to check processing fee. Right? These are the two things that you need to check. That, okay, hey, what is the total? So there is this term called APR, annual percentage rate. So typically international lender, they talk in the terms of APR. The meaning of APR is that all the cost associated with the loan is being converted to one number, right? So you need to compare the APRs. Now the Indian bank doesn't give APR, right? So there we come handy, we compare it, we help you comparing the options and say that, okay, hey, you can take this loan, you should not take this loan. Right? There are small other aspects as well that they need to check whether the interest rate is fixed or floating.
Variable.
Right? Whether I am supposed to pay anything while study or not.
Generally, how they used to give, Aman, whether it's a fixed interest rate or
usually it is floating.
Floating interest
majority
rate.
Of the lenders,
majority of the even NBFCs or public banks or secured or unsecured, irrespective of the anything, they'll go with the floating.
99% is floating. There is one lender in the market that currently offers fixed. Other than that, everyone offers floating. There is a company called Empower Finance. They give fixed. Now, I'm not saying fixed is bad. It depends on what your requirements are and at what time you are taking the loan. So, for example, right now, when the interest rates are higher due to the macro economic situation, if you are taking a fixed rate loan right now, you will be at loss, because you are taking at the time when the interest rates are at the top high, right? Let's say a few years back, and in fact it was the case. SBI 3-4 years back used to give a fixed rate loan. And the SBI rate at that point was 8.79%.
For an education loan?
For an education loan. 3-4 years back. So take that as a fixed rate, because that is the bottom. So if bank at that point in time saying that, hey, I am giving you a fixed rate loan of 8.7%, blindly take it. Right? So it depends on when you are taking, but usually floating is what banks offer.
Apart from the processing fees, Aman, is there any costs that are involved in education loan?
So at the start, there is processing fee, as you mentioned, that is there, but you are not supposed to pay processing fee upfront. Once the process is done, that before taking the sanction letter, usually, especially in the unsecured loan, they will ask for the processing fee first and then give you the sanction letter.
Give the sanction and disbursement.
That is in the unsecured loan. In unsecured loan, there are no much cost associated. One thing you need to understand is there is something called loan insurance. So usually bank asks you to mandatorily buy that insurance, but then bank don't ask you to pay the money. They add it in your loan. So you don't need to pay out of your pocket. You need to repay it as part of your EMI. So that is another cost associated, and there are some notary charges, 1,000 rupees here and there.
Or miscellaneous expenses.
Miscellaneous expenses, but not a major expense. That is there. And one thing that people need to keep in mind is the forex charges and where they are taking the forex from. So for example, at times people end up paying a very high forex rate So they need to evaluate that, but
Okay.
that is not related to loan as much. Coming to the secured loan, now the thing with the secured loan is that there is one processing fee which is to be paid to the bank.
Okay.
There is a property valuation charge that is
Okay.
needed to be paid to the evaluator.
Okay.
Usually bank take it and give it to the evaluator when bank has a fixed rate for that. Apart from that, there is some tax that you pay at the time of mortgage creation. That is
Okay.
another 0.1, 0.2% of the loan amount you
So
need
that
to
the
pay.
student need to mortgage the property to
At
the
that time,
vendor.
yeah.
Huh.
So these are the typical costs associated with any
Okay.
education. Yeah.
Other than this, no other costs. are
Other than
involved.
that, there are no costs. Yeah.
Okay. So whenever the student comes for an education loan, they'll ask for only three. Okay. A good bank with a lower interest rate.
Yeah.
Okay. With a less processing time.
Yeah.
So would you suggest a top three public banks and three NBFCs by taking these three parameters?
Public banks, public banks में UBI,
Okay.
SBI, and Bank of Baroda. So these are the three public banks. I won't say all of them are faster. Yeah, if you go through GyanDhan, it is faster. But
Okay.
so these are the three banks. They are giving a lower rate of interest. These are the public banks.
Okay.
Coming to private banks, if I have to select top three, I'll say ICICI, IDFC First Bank, and Axis Bank. These are the
Okay.
three banks.
Okay.
NBFCs, there are hardly three NBFCs that are giving
Correct.
these loans. So that's
I mean, GyanDhan will work with the Prodigy as well.
yeah. So we work with 15 lenders, all the public banks, private banks, NBFCs, international lenders.
Okay.
So when the student checks a loan eligibility on our website, they typically see an output that okay, you are eligible for the loan from this three or this five players.
Okay.
You can then choose and pick. So we give you complete transparency that okay, hey, this is the interest rate, this is the amount from Bank A, Bank B, Bank C.
Okay.
But yeah, to answer that, yes, we work with Prodigy Finance, Empower Finance, all the international lenders as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suppose, as an international student, I want to apply for the three banks. Okay, I approach GyanDhan.
Yeah.
So I want to apply for the three. So how much time will you take evaluate these three? I mean, do you charge any fees from the student to apply for the three banks? Because it would be cost involved too much of manpower.
First of all, there is no fees involved.
Okay.
Our services are completely free. You don't need to pay even a single penny to us. In fact, we end up saving money for you by negotiating the interest rate processing fee on your behalf. Now, how fast we are? The moment you check the eligibility, within 30 seconds, we tell you these are the three banks.
Okay. Within 30 seconds?
Within 30 seconds with the our tool, check eligibility tool on our website. Even when you are talking to a counselor, our relationship managers, they can tell you in 2-3 minute conversation.
Okay.
Because we have a very standard framework that our entire team follows to recommend students the loan products.
How you are leveraging the technology?
See, so our entire business is built. So I won't say we are a service company.
Okay, yeah.
We are a tech plus product company, right? And everything that we are doing end to end is with the tech. So, for example, when you check the eligibility, there is an algorithm at the back end that evaluates your profile, matches it with all the banks, and give you the options. After that, then there is automatically you get redirected to a page where you have to answer a few questions. You answer those questions. Automatically, you get redirected to a page where you are supposed to upload the documents.
Okay.
Right? Once you upload the document, automatically it goes to the lender.
Okay.
And there are document check. We are using many tools to automatically check the document. So let's say if you upload a blur document, so it immediately will give you, sorry, this is a blur document.
Okay.
Please upload a clear image of the Aadhaar card, clear image of the PAN card, right? Now the lender gets it automatically. So this is entirely a technology layer that we have built end to end. Not only this, apart from that, we have done other type of automations, which is, let's say if a student is not picking up the call, so they will get a message that, okay, hey, we tried reaching out, you're not picking up the call, which is very normal, by the way. But not only that, let's say if the student is uploaded document as 2-3 documents are not up to the mark, they immediately get a WhatsApp message that these 3 documents are not up to the mark, please upload them again. Now, student
Okay.
don't have to go log in and upload. They can
Hmm.
simply share it with GyanDhan on the WhatsApp channel, and
Okay.
it gets automatically uploaded in their application. So
Great.
that is the technology that we have built in, and that is how we are making the overall process for the
Reduce the
student
time.
easier.
Huh.
Now, on the top of that, we have done API integrations with almost all the lenders. So
Okay.
students can see the real-time status. So when you go and apply to, let's say, a public sector bank, you can't know the status without visiting. But with GyanDhan, you can just log into your GyanDhan dashboard, and there will be status visible to you for all the lenders that are there. So that is another technology layer, that is the integration with all the banks, lenders, to show you the real-time information.
Okay.
So, and that is how we have been leveraging technology in making this entire education loan process seamless. Yeah.
Okay. After the disbursement term,
Yeah.
most of the part, 90% you have done with the client.
Yeah.
Okay. How you build and maintain the rapport with the student until the
Yeah.
loan finishes?
Yeah. So that is the one thing that we keep telling to our student, that
Huh.
your association with us is not for this 5 days, 7 days, 20 days. Your association with us is for next 15 years, next
Okay.
10 years, right? So I'll tell you, people whom we have helped in 2016, 2017, 2018 in getting the loans, they reach out to us today and say that, okay, hey, we took the loan from SBI, or we took the loan from Axis, or we took the loan from ICICI, and my manager is not there anymore.
Okay.
My manager is not picking up the call, because there are transfer, like in 8 years,
True.
people change companies,
Correct.
branches, so they don't know whom to reach out to close. They simply drop an email to GyanDhan that, okay, hey, I took the loan, I am looking for loan closure, please help me out. Or I want to get my interest certificate for the tax saving, please help me out. So
Okay.
there is a separate team that helps the student with the post-disbursement queries, post-disbursements. In fact, once first disbursement is easy because you are in India.
Yes,
You are
yes.
coordinating yourself. Next disbursement, you are abroad.
You're abroad,
And you have
correct.
to get it done. Now, either you ask your parents to go to the bank, do everything, and you can just ask GyanDhan and we will get
Okay.
it done. So these are the kind of things we are doing from the loan disbursement and closure perspective and supporting during the repayment. We also have this GyanDhan community where we are helping students who went abroad with right knowledge. So, for example, few days back we organized this webinar on O1 visa. Now, in fact, I myself didn't knew about O1 visa until few days back. It is a visa that you can get basis your merit.
Correct.
Right. So now students don't know about it, right?
True.
So we try to organize such events, webinars, videos, and keep sending it to the students who are abroad. We don't need anything from them right now, right? We are already done. We already earned our disbursement and everything. But even after that, we are keep doing that. We are doing that to help them out with certain aspect of their journey.
Okay.
And the end goal is that, okay, hey, can we build a product which we can help students end to end even after disbursement with their job selection, internship selection. But
Okay.
that remains to be seen how much.
You're adding some more value to their profile.
Right.
Okay. Aman, unsecured loan.
Yeah.
What is the maximum amount that you have been disbursed or sanctioned with the GyanDhan?
If you have to ask me absolute maximum,
Absolute maximum,
maximum, it will be somewhere around 1 crore. Absolute maximum unsecured loan, not secured. Secured though it is 3 crore.
Okay.
Yeah, secured though it is 3 crore. As I mentioned, that basis the value of the collateral you can get it. And unsecured loan up to 1 crore you can get. But typical range is 40 to 50 lakh rupees.
Okay.
Unsecured loan. If you're going to, let's say somebody is going to LBS, London Business School, or somebody is going to Harvard, in such cases, exceptions are being taken to apply to help students with 1 crore, 75 lakh, 80 lakh rupee loan as well, unsecured. But typically, people who are going for MS, they usually get 40, 30, 40, 50 lakh rupees as the unsecured loan.
Okay. Okay. So that was the greatest number.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me one thing, Aman. Nagendar, this is one of the most typical case. In my journey throughout the last 8 years, I can remember this. I fight with the lenders, then we got it. Can you share any that
So
case study?
I have two cases that I would love
Yes,
to
yes,
share.
of course. Yeah.
So, and both of case were, I think, very difficult. So one case, a student was looking for certain amount, let's say 35 lakh rupee, and he was going to a college which was not eligible for an unsecured loan.
Okay.
So now he had three properties in three different places. So let's say the student is in Delhi. So in Delhi, he has one property of 5, 7, 10 lakh rupees. In Mumbai, he has another property. In Bangalore, he has another property.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Three different properties.
And he wanted us to combine all these three property and get him the loan. Now, when you go to the bank and when you say that the property is in Mumbai, they will just raise their hand. Hey, we can't do that, right?
True.
So what we did was to understand what to be done. We coordinated with each branch of that certain bank. Got the property evaluated, and then those branches sent their recommendation to the main branch, and then these three property were combined and the loan was done. So
Okay.
It was really difficult because getting one property evaluated in disbursement
In the
itself
same
is a-
state as well,
Yeah, in
every
the
state has a different land document
Right.
procedures.
So there you have to coordinate with three different evaluator, three different lawyer, three different credit manager, branch managers, then the area manager, DGMs, and all of that. So that's that. Another case I remember is there were these two friends who were in fact going to New Zealand, if I remember it correctly, and so one of them got loan sanctioned with property through us. The second guy didn't had anything like any property in his family or so. And now the first guy said that I will only go when the second guy go. They were friends, right?
True. Huh.
So, and typically till then we used to get the loan done only on the family properties in general, right?
Okay.
So this was the first case where we had to take approvals, but we got two loans approved on the property of the first guy. So we got the loan approved for the second one, basis the property of the first person who was the friend of the second person.
Okay.
So it was a difficult case from the perspective that usually banks want your relative property should be there, right? They usually don't like or don't allow the property of a third person.
True.
And on the top of that, on single property, though the value was there, we had to get two loans done.
Okay.
So this was another case. So
Yes.
this is the extent of thing that we do
Okay.
for our students, customers, or partners. That our aim ultimately, the value of GyanDhan is okay. If you're coming to us, how can we help you getting that loan? Obviously, I and nobody can say 100% that 100% of the loan there is a guarantee and all of that. But we go beyond what is required to get you the loan sanction. We coordinate day in, day out. In fact, I remember so many cases when there is a student reaches out to us and say, hey, I have a visa interview in 5 days, 3 days, and I need a loan before that. And I specifically remember a case where on a Sunday from a public sector bank at 8 in the night, I got the loan sanction, loan approval letter, so that the student can attend the visa interview next day in the morning at 8 a.m.
Okay.
Right. So this is the kind of things we do, and we go beyond means to help our
All the
students.
challenges with the property, challenges with the time, challenges
that
with the
give
lenders.
us that give us satisfaction, right?
Yes,
If we don't do that, there is students who are genuinely looking for the help.
True.
They need support of people like us.
Thank you, Aman. Thanks very much for your time. Almost we have covered everything.
Yeah.
So still you want to share anything else apart from this? Still, this thing missed Nagendar, so that I can.
Yeah. So first of all, Nagendar, thanks a lot for inviting me. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't think I thought this much about loan in one go in last few years.
Okay.
The entire process, right?
Okay.
I obviously get interacted with this part of the process.
This
that are
part.
of the process. But if I have to summarize it, the earlier thing that I said, that don't blindly go take loan from anywhere.
Okay.
Do your research. Even I'm not saying go via GyanDhan,
Yeah.
but do your research yourself and compare the loans. There are videos available, blogs available. We write a lot. We release a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Compare them, then take the decision, because it's one of the biggest decision of your life, right? As a student, till now you must have bought a product of 1 lakh rupee, 2 lakh rupee, but now this is a product 50 lakh rupee loan you are taking.
Yeah.
So it's not a small thing. You need to do proper financial planning. Second thing is, if anybody is looking to study abroad, right, and they think that money is an obstacle, that is not anymore.
Yeah.
Try to get admission to a good university, or try to score good in your GRE, IELTS, TOEFL. Money is available. As long as you are going to a good place, you will have to do certain fight, but money is easily available as compared to what it was 5 years, 7 years ago.
Okay.
So don't let your dreams die of studying abroad. If you're planning, go in that direction. Some doors will open along the way.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Aman. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the best for the GyanDhan.
Thank you.
Yeah.